Cutters, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter and welcome you to another Cutter, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinion. And this is number 180. Now, if you'd be thinking, well, in the spirit of things, the 180 is doing something that, I back off of an unpopular opinion because it's popular or all that. Well, unfortunately, that's not true. I haven't backed off from anything from an unpopular opinion. I may have backed off a little bit about saying that, maybe Emma was being punished. Emma's being punished for the fact that Snake left, in season 5, well, Spike kicked Snake out for his Crease Patalacos, and Emma was being punished for it, for telling Spike it, because she was working her tail off at home. But no, Emma was trying to fill in gallantly, and unfortunately, people thinking, well, Emma, that, Manny and Spike are putting too much pressure on her. No, she's put the pressure on herself. So that kind of is like 180. But yeah, this will be an Emma unpopular opinion. So 13 days ago, and for context, it's being taped on December 30th, 2022, I wrote a Reddit post. It said, do you think that Emma's character would have been better if Manny and Liberty didn't, quote unquote, leave her in season 9? So this is what I said. Now, after I repeat my post, I'll give you the context and then I'll give you the comments. All right, so I say, hard to tell, but my thoughts are that she slipped into a period of trying to gain friends even more so after Manny went to Hollywood and Liberty went somewhere else for pre-law after the events of Degrassi Goes Hollywood. The main proof is that in Holiday Road, season 9, she tells about how she was lost after Manny left for Hollywood and Liberty went to pre-law. It seems that she attached herself to them too much in season 8, especially pulling strings to have them both be her roommates. And possibly at the first chance, they walked away from Emma. Although Manny did come back to be close to Emma at their wedding renewal of Emma and Spinner. Alright, so before I get to the comments and all that, let's get some context. You'll be thinking, well, what is he talking about? Okay, so in season 9, well, so in seasons 1 to 7, Emma and Manny had an on-again, off-again friendship, and, Liberty was also there too, but Emma and Liberty were more so frenemies, aka friends/enemies, than anything else. But the fact of the matter is that Emma, and Manny, the relationship was awful. But in season 8, you could see something fishy, because in season 8, when they did the season premiere, of course, that was when the gifted class comes into Degrassi and the chef becomes principal, that Emma is with Manny and Liberty at Smithdale, which is weird because Liberty was supposed to go to Banting, but didn't. A lot of people said, well, why did Liberty change colleges? I think it was because of the fact that Damien, who was close to Liberty, went to Banting, but Damien had eyes for Liberty instead of Emma, and Emma and Damien were supposed to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Toby at the end of season 7 spills the beans about that relationship. However, Emma does not go after Liberty. She goes after Damien because Damien was the one who wanted to cheat on her, and Emma felt betrayed, and Liberty doesn't deserve it. I think in a sense that Emma was trying not to be prudent because in season 4, when she found out about Liberty and Chris possibly getting together, she wanted to destroy that because maybe it affects Emma for some strange reason. And that led to Manny and Liberty leaving her as friends, Emma then trying to latch on to friends with Paige's friend group, but then after finding out that the cause was not taken, the Ribbon cause was not taken without the main purpose, or what Emma thought was the purpose, although Paige's group did have a different purpose, then she got ostracized, and all she has is the Wacky Brain group with Rick. And of course, Emma probably in the back of her head thought that, she wasn't so petty about this whole Chris situation. Maybe Liberty and Manny would help her deal with the aftermath of the Rick Murray situation. Emma didn't really get any therapy. Like, yeah, she gave Jay a blowjob and all that, but that's not therapy at all. And then, If You Leave in season 6 is when Manny moves back home away from Emma's, because Emma allowed Manny to stay at her place until further notice. And Emma probably felt that Manny was trying to leave her high and dry, so she tried desperately to get Manny to listen to her and all that. But, things get better at the end of it. But I feel like the events of If You Leave were kind of the catalyst for Emma being the clingy friend that she seems to be, or what I talk about. So, of course, season 8 is the prime example of being a clingy friend. Was that, Emma finds out that Liberty and Manny are roommates. But not Emma. Emma's disturbed, and Emma, for some strange reason, was allowed to go behind the scenes and get Manny and Liberty to be with her in the room. And then, they find a roommate named Kelly. Manny and Liberty are shocked that Emma would do such a thing like that. It's like, this isn't Emma at all. Of course, they get the roommate Kelly, and Manny and Kelly were supposed to go out, but then Kelly chooses Emma. I think Emma tried to manipulate Kelly and all that. Unfortunately, Kelly and Emma were not that compatible with each other, and Emma kind of was bossy in a sense, and Kelly, almost at the first opportunity he got, went back to the Yukon. I guess he was tired of Emma trying to take charge in their relationship and forcing him to be a vegetarian and all that. I don't really see Emma forcing her boyfriends to be vegetarian and all that. She didn't really force it on Sean. She didn't really force it on Damien or Peter. So why now? It just doesn't make sense. And then, Kelly goes back to the Yukon. Emma has to do her recycle thing all by herself. And then when Ali and Claire pop up the question about college, Emma then blurts out how she's chasing friends instead of being part of 19th century English writing and all that, and that she's just trying to be who she is. She tries to make friends more so than grades and all that. Snake and Spike do give Emma a little bit of flack, but not too much flack. Saying that they kind of figured that Emma was just lost without Manny and Liberty and all that. Yeah, like Emma says that Manny and Liberty left her and she felt lost. And it's like, well, Emma should have talked to Spike and Snake and all that about her problems. And not just basically said that Emma went from a awkward human being in the first few seasons to a clingy friend and a clingy girlfriend too. I mean, she was trying to cling on to Kelly and all that, even though she was a little bit forceful. And then she ends up getting Spinner, and it was like, what the hell? Emma was so despondent over Kelly leaving her. She was willing to try meet, but Spinner and Holly J stop her from that in the episode Holiday Road. All right, so yeah, and then there's Degrassi Goes Hollywood, and then Emma and um, Manny joined the Studs and Jay on a school bus to try to get Manny's acting job for Degrassi Goes. I mean, for Jay and Silent Bob Go Hollywood or whatever. No, that musical. Oh, the musical. I don't know that musical. Oh, I can't remember the name for the longest hockey puck time. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But they went to California to steal that stuff, and then Emma felt happy and all that. But yeah, let me read the comments for you. Okay. Busy Imagination said this. Emma latched on to Manny too much. Manny at least had Darcy. Emma really didn't have anyone except for Damien back when they were dating. Same with Kelly. It's a shame she couldn't have her own group of friends or kept more in touch with Toby and JT like when they were younger. Nah, I don't know if she was really close to Toby and JT at all. Like, yeah, the first season when Toby and JT stopped the catfishing thing from having the Emma in the first season. But yeah. Novelle says it ties back into her eating disorder, or ED, which is not erectile dysfunction. It's eating disorder a little bit too. Part of her therapy was that she wouldn't try to control the people and situations around her. And when she went to college, she stopped that therapy and started trying to control Manny and Liberty. And we find out during Holiday Road Kelly, she may still have been eating, but the behaviors that were said to be at the root of her eating disorder were manifesting in how she treated the people around her. Good point. That's a very good point. Is that, yeah, I guess her therapy, she wouldn't try to control the people and situations around her. Because she said that when they had that party for Liberty and all that, Emma tells Manny that her therapist tells her to loosen up because, if she doesn't loosen up, then she might go back to the eating disorder situation. That was in season 6. It does tie back. I say so. Because Emma didn't really go to the we didn't know of how much therapy Emma was under for that eating disorder thing, and she might have been under therapy to deal with her problems with the aftermath of JT's stabbing. I mean, yes, Emma did some wrong, but I mean, a guy got stabs from her house at a party that should not have been thrown, especially with her parents out of town, and all that. Emma was scared about repercussions from the police, and I bet you Emma was scared about how her grandmother, I mean JT's grandmother, would have felt with the situation, and how guilty she was that they let JT die. And of course, she got mad at Lakehurst and all that. I mean, I understand why she got mad at Lakehurst, but still. Anyway, Weirdo Chick says, "Damn, you just made me see Emma in a new light that I can relate to." Capital Study actually said, "I think the J in the Ravine saga could also apply to Emma's difficulty in meeting new people. I think that she hooked up with Jay is that she hardly knew anyone in the Ravine crowd, and it was the only one she was semi-acquainted with." Not completely. That point also is that she hooked up with Jay because he was a link to Sean. Yeah, and then one happy one said a massive thing saying that when you look at Emma's history, it makes sense why she's so clingy. Something shown through the series was that Emma was not good at making friends. When she and Manny had that falling out in season 4, she latched on to the Rick protesting crowd because she was all alone. Then started hanging out with Rick, not because she actually liked him, but because she was desperate. Then in college, she only got into weed and being Blaze because to her seemed like the only way to get people to spend time with her. So to answer your question, Emma may have been better off if Manny and or Liberty hadn't gotten done to their own thing. But you can't expect people to put their dreams aside or stay where they are just because you're afraid to be lonely. I think Emma kind of learned that in Hollywood because she almost quit the bike trip just because Kelly left. But she ended up going anyway, thus showing her growth that she doesn't need others to be happy. Yeah. Well, one happy one actually edited it saying, "Oh shoot, season 3," but I said no, it's season 4. Because yeah, it was season 4 because Manny broke out from Emma when Emma's plan to prevent Liberty and Chris from dating backfired, and she was drawn to Rick Page's script to make Rick leave. So when you look at that angle, it's just basically that Emma had troubles with people leaving her and all that. That's fair enough. I mean, especially with Manny in season 6, when Manny's parents allowed her to come back after the whole JT stabbing thing, Emma felt like she lost an ally. I mean, yeah, Emma went wrong. But I also say that if Manny had actually taken the time to calm Emma down, I think that Emma probably would have been fine and nothing bad would have happened. But that's the problem nowadays. It's like everyone's just picking on Emma for one big boo boo. But to me, it's like, well, I mean, Emma had problems with things and all that. She did have problems when Manny and Liberty left her high and dry after what happened season 4 with Emma trying to prevent Chris from dating Liberty. I don't know why. I mean, Emma, I don't think was really that in that friendship with Liberty. So I think Emma wouldn't care less. She probably just cared too much about what people think of her. All that. And that was kind of, I guess, the start of the glow up phase because I think maybe the writers felt the Emma hate from the online boards that were kind of new in people's minds, but still, excuse me, but still, I mean, Emma deserved better. She deserved a better friend group. Yeah, Emma and Manny were a good friendship, but like Emma was in a way a little clingy towards Manny, and yes, Emma did some wrong towards Manny and showed some jealousy, but Emma was just protecting Manny from herself. But Manny be Manny, that's what she wanted to do. Baseball trope, but still, yeah, yeah. I think people agreed that Emma probably would have been much better off. But then she needed to find her own way of things. And she said she didn't need people to make her happy. Well, then why did she marry Spinner? That just doesn't make sense. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good